Hey, it's me, Hannah. Happy Halloween! I picked out my Halloween costume in early August, but in true Hannah fashion, I have waited until a week before Halloween to start sewing and crafting. And I'm well aware of how much effort this costume is going to be. The costume in question? The absolutely iconic Jolly Holiday dress from the original Mary Poppins film. There is obviously a lot that needs to get done and a lot of details I need to get right. There's the dress, there's the petticoat, there's the waspy corset belt, there's the shoes, there's the hat, there's the umbrella. And thank the heavens that I can count Ashley Main Makes here on YouTube as a friend. She so graciously responded to my kind of desperate call for pattern help on Instagram and turned me on to charm patterns, particularly their Patsy blouse and their Janet Jabbit, as well as their circle skirt and waspy patterns. So with a few adjustments to these charm patterns, I am off to the races, and for once, with a plan. So I've already started with the underlayer of the dress using this stretch chiffon fabric, white stretch chiffon fabric, and serged any edges recommended by the pattern instructions. Because I'm still not sure how I'm going to connect this this underlayer to this sheer white chiffon outer layer. Actually, maybe I should have all the pieces prepped for both layers. Yeah, I'm gonna cut out all of the pieces in this fabric for the bodice, the skirt, the sleeves, and the jabbit. Okay, so in looking at the dress from the movie again, this piece, this like underlayer piece, should be a little bit more tank toppy. So I am going to trim this neckline down a little bit to be a little bit more, yeah, like a tank top. Okay, so I have a dress, or I have the beginnings of a dress. I still have a couple like details and of course finishings that I need to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and pivot away from this for a little bit to focus on the waspy belt. So I've taken a pattern and made some adjustments to it, just by, adding some paper, extending it a little bit to get that point that you see in the original dress or the original belt from the film. I didn't mock this up before launching into and cutting out the pieces with the red fabric that I bought. So let's see how this goes.
that went pretty well. I don't know why corsets seem to be my strength, but I was able to blow through this in about a day. So less than that. I had to work at some point this week too. So now that I'm done with the waspy belt, I am going to switch gears again. We need to make these boots pink and white. I got fabric paint. I do realize that this is not fabric per se, but it was the best option at my local craft store. So I grabbed these boots online. I couldn't find any that were this kind of same style and pink and white. They don't make boots like that for some reason. Actually, they barely make boots that look like this. So I am happy that I found these, and I realized that they are not fabric per se. It's leather, pleather likely, based on the price tag. I haven't tested it out. I have a couple days left until Halloween, so now seems like the right time to figure out if this will even work. Okay, so today is like the last day I can work on this, and there's still so much to do. I have, of course, the rest of the details on the dress. I've only finished half of the boots, literally. So wrap this up. Also, that turned out really nice. I'm really happy with how those came out. So wrap that up. The rest of the details on the dress, Just kidding, it was my cat. But most of our focus today will be back on the dress. Obviously still have to add buttons, add the jabbet, add a collar, add cuffs to the sleeves, add lace applique detail, add ribbon. Today's theme is lace, just yards and yards and yards of it. Lace is not something I have a lot of experience working with, but let's give it a go. I think I'm going to prioritize the jabbets and then come back and do the collar and the buttons first. And then we can start working on the lace appliques and the ribbon detail.
painted a glorious dye, bright as the morning in mine. I feel like I could fly.
Bert, none of your larking about.
Have you ever seen the grass so green, or a bluer sky? Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light.
You haven't changed a bit, have you?
When the day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright.
Oh, honestly.
Oh, happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the dove. When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
You are light-headed.
It's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love.
It's a jolly holiday with Mary.
Mary makes your heart so light.
When the day is grey and ordinary.
What a ride. This whole project was so over the top. I'm not saying I have regrets, but it was a high effort, high impact costume. I think that to the untrained eye, it looks great. And for the most part, that's who I'm showing it to, except for you, obviously. There are definitely things I wish I could have done better. I really wish I hadn't chosen chiffon to be my main material. What a pain. I don't know if I'll ever work with chiffon again. That was so painful. It's just really hard to sew without getting any pulls or holes in it, and I definitely swore a lot throughout this whole project. If I do work with it again, it's going to be something I'm going to need to really take my time on and practice with. If you have any recommendations or resources on the best way to sew with chiffon, send them my way, because I hated that. I truly hated it. That said, this looks exactly the way I wanted it to from a distance. Sure, the finishing details aren't flawless. The hem, don't look at it. We can ignore the fact that I just straight up ran out of lace at the bottom of the underlayer. Wanted to do my own petticoat for this as well. I have fabric for it. I just ran out of time. The petticoat in the film has a lot more color to it, and that would have been just such a fun touch. Would have tied in the pink a little bit better. The pink lace I have on my jabbet is not nearly pink enough for me, but with the high impact red, I do not feel like I am without color in this dress at all. So I feel good about that. The hat isn't quite there. The shoes are something I am very happy with. I did not have very high hopes for these, but and even the pink color itself, I think maybe is a little too bold to be accurate to the film, but I just love them. They make me happy. And I'm glad that I was able to make the fabric paint work, even though, like I said before, they're not really fabric per se. Doesn't matter. It came out just fine. And the shoes are comfortable too. I'm gonna keep these and I'll probably wear them again in the future. I don't know what for, but we'll figure something out. I would have also liked to have done my own umbrella, or painted this umbrella, or just found a more accurate umbrella. I toyed around with the idea of doing like a resin pour to get the little bird head, parrot head that she has in the film, but you know, these things take time, and time is not something I had. So like I said, this was high effort, high impact. I wish I could have done the whole outfit a little bit more justice, and this will probably be something I continue to work on going forward. I could definitely see it coming out for conventions or other costume parties. It's a surprisingly comfortable dress, although it's a little warm in this 80+ degree October heat. Even though this was such a struggle to try and put together before Halloween, I still had a lot of fun
puzzling it out and figuring out some new techniques and working with new fabrics. And if you had as much fun as I did, it would mean the world to me if you would like and subscribe. And if you do, I will see you in 2 weeks for my next video. Take care.